lovely party. Pity I wasn't invited.
Hello there! Once again, late in the week, episode 6, Comic-Con weekend.
Yes.
Kind of weird not being in San Diego, basically putting ourselves through hell and sleep deprivation to get all the latest news, goodies, all the crazy things that the convention brings. I mean, it's an experience. The Barbarian said it best. It is an experience that you just can't replicate anywhere else.
Right. Granted, last year was the first time that we ever went to San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
And so we've been doing Comic-Con at home for most of the time anyway, so it's not a new thing for us.
Right.
But at the same time, it does feel weird not knowing that, you know, nobody's in San Diego right now for Comic-Con, that we're all at home. But you know, we'll come back better than ever next year.
I haven't even partaken really in anything that they've been doing. I watched a little bit of the New Mutants. Wait, Regis Philbin died? Is that true? Like, is that a thing? We'll have to talk about that. I'll have to look into it. Which is a shame. I love Regis. But when it comes to Comic-Con, you know, like, it's not the same experience. Like, I'm going and watching some of the panels, New Mutants. It was fun, but it's different, you know, being there and obviously it's different being there and watching it. But, you know, I'm so happy an hour ago. Dang, that's sad. That's definitely heartbreaking. But
yes.
Reg, man, he's got a lot of pop culture moments himself. I love him on Seinfeld when Kramer brings out the coffee table book with Kathy Lee and he like knocks the water and spills it all over them. But yeah, R.I.P. Regis.
Mm-hmm.
But San Diego Comic-Con also, you know, it was a huge experience for us. It was where we finally felt legitimate, I guess you can say, because we did end up getting press passes this past year.
Yeah.
We chronicled the whole thing all days, Wednesday through Sunday. We have a vlog for every single day.
Yeah.
And it was quite an experience. And before we get into the topics, we'll talk about some of our favorites. And my favorite, of course, the Marvel panel was definitely one of the highlights. Being at San Diego Comic-Con.
And Saturday. It was a whirlwind of emotions that day, too. The night before as well, because we didn't think because we waited in line for, like, basically all day.
Right.
We didn't get any ticket or any, like, wristbands for you to go in. So we were like, okay, well, maybe we might not be able to get in.
Right.
And then in the morning, we had friends who also had press passes, and they're like, well, we got in through the press thing. We're like, well, dang, maybe we should try. So we tried and they let us through, and so we got to actually be there. So in a way it was kind of worth it, but you know.
And not just friends, it was finally Taylor Robinson and Jacob London from Finally Taylor. They're the ones that like tested it. We're like, oh, can we just do like the whole Wayne's World pass thing and get in? And it worked. Like we got in. They had seats for us right up like 10 rows from the front. And I'll say one of my favorite moments, David Harbour coming out, being so excited that he gets to join, you know, the Marvel Universe. So yeah, that's this moment.
What, are you excited to expand your fan base now that you've joined the MCU?
Who writes these questions? That is the dumbest question I've ever. Am I excited to expand my fan base in the Marvel Universe? Hell yeah!
He was having such a good time the entire time we were there.
It was so much fun.
And Rockin' Movies with Tyler. Hello there.
Hello there.
Guys, we got the stream deck, so now we can actually do things a little quicker.
He's been playing with it. He's like, it's like a child in a toy store.
I'm still a child in a toy store when I walk into a toy store. But I'd have to say, I already know what Vanessa's favorite moment is, whether or not she
I know,
shares it.
I know where it's coming from. It has to be when Tom Hiddleston came out and was talking about Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
This face right here. Ready? Here it comes. Right here. The side glance. Oh, yeah. Definitely was an amazing moment that we got to capture. We weren't sure, too, how we were going to be able to film inside Hall H. So many other people that were there that we became friends with just that very, weekend were telling us, don't even bother, don't try and film. And we ended up figuring out, as long as you're not filming during the screen, they really don't care if you're filming inside or yourselves.
So every time the lights went dark, we were like, oh.
Right? Yeah, we would put the camera down and then come right back up and film our reactions. So you guys, you can check out those full vlogs available on our channel. But one of my treasured moments that has come in handy quite a bit.
That was kind of just like a happy accident that this happened too, because we were going to the activation for What We Do in the Shadows.
Right.
And if you guys are been on our channel, you guys know that we love the show to What We Do in the What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, we love the show What We Do in the Shadows, and we do the reactions for it. So if you want to watch those, they're on our channel and the full watch along on our Patreon. But one of the best things that happened, and it just because we were waiting in line to get into the activation for it, that one of the cast members of the show was there.
Guillermo Harvey Guiden. Guiden? I'm going to say it's Harvey Guiden. But he came out, Guillermo de la Cruz. We met him.
This is pretty macabre.
What We Do in the Shadows, guys. Watch it
for sure.
On FX. Thank you. It was such a good experience. He was so friendly. And it's funny because if you watch What We Do in the Shadows, there's a big character turn when it comes to his character. And at that moment, you as an actor, he filmed the season. It was out. That newest episode had really aired maybe like a week or two before. So it was still fresh, and he really hasn't been able to talk to anyone about it. So we got to talk to him about it. He was so excited that we were on the in when it came to his character turn, and he was excited for season 2, which is now in the books. You can watch that reaction on our channel.
And season 3 is going to come too, so we're looking forward to more adventures with Guillermo.
Aaron Johnson, hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah, you guys are getting hello there now. I got the General Kenobi one. I still have to put it on here, though. But with, one of the things that we're missing out on is all the amazing cosplay that you see at the conventions. Because some people, our friend Avalon from Geek House, it's a year that she puts effort into her cosplay to go and, show off what she has been working on, and so many other cosplayers put so much effort into their outfits at these conventions, and it's just a shame. So I was just kind of like cruising cosplay videos, and I came across one, and I don't even think it's from Comic-Con. I think it's from years ago. It's not from Comic-Con, but it's from years ago, probably Halloween at some office, and this guy, man, if you saw it on our social networking, we posted it, but he is to a T, a perfect impersonation of Heath Ledger and his Joker. So let's check that out.
It's a video.
Oh, it's a video. Oh, good evening. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I left everything at home.
I left everything at home. Like, it's so perfect. It makes me really miss Heath Ledger even more. But it shows that if they wanted to make a sequel with the Joker,
damn it, Creed,
could have done it. Yeah, no, Creed, Dwight, even Kevin. But this one, man, it's the voice, it's the mannerisms,
it's definitely comes down to the mannerisms and more or less the voice, but it's more so the mannerisms. If you can take that, it would be you take it to another level.
Shane Tro, loved the Doctor Who cosplay Vanessa rocked at last year's Comic-Con. That was Friday. It was so cool because we did get a moment in the What We Do in the Shadows activation where David Tennant's doctor was there.
There was a doctor there. And it was funny because they were actually taking pictures with all the iterations of the Doctor, regenerations of the Doctor.
Right.
That they were like, oh my God, we found somebody who is there. Because they were trying to find people who were dressed as the Doctor. And so because I happened to be her, we took a picture.
And it was definitely an enjoyable experience. And we will be there hopefully next year. I mean, if we're approved for press passes, I don't know if they are going to count this year as your
we'll
press passes. Because if you don't know, if you apply for press passes, they approve you for like 2 years, and then after that you have to reapply. But I don't know, we were approved for this year. Obviously, it's not happening, but we're still getting all the information about what's getting dropped and released. Yeah. But there's not a whole lot, It's TV shows for the most part. Right. So yeah, hopefully they'll carry it over to next year. But moving on to our first topic, which Lando. They're talking about Lando possibly getting his own series on Disney Plus. I think this news was like partly dropped too by Alex and Molly Damon on Star Wars Explained.
Nice.
But yeah, a Lando series. If it were to happen, what would you want? We know Troy. We know Troy can pull it off. We know Donald Glover has it in him to give us a hell of a series.
I think that, you kind of... I would love to see, like, when he takes over Bespin.
Right.
I think I would love to see that side of it.
I could see that happening. I feel like that would happen way later.
That's true.
But at the same time, we don't know how long he's been at Bespin.
True.
We just know that he went straight and ended up...
granted, he was in Rebels.
Right,
too.
Yeah.
So that could be around that time as well.
But that is getting us a little closer to A New Hope. But at the same time, they could have it go right up towards New Hope, Rogue One era. But going back, even farther, there's so much that they can do in that era, I guess.
They have the span of... what happened within the Revenge of the Sith till all the way to New Hope. So they have all of that time there. So
it's true. And, why not just, why just Lando, Solo? You can have an entire expanded universe on this Solo story. So we got the movie, which was kind of a springboard into the characters, this version of the characters that we know. And then, of course, Kira's still out there. We know that Maul is still out there. We know that Solo is obviously roaming around. So why not give us a story of all of them and what's going on? It doesn't have to just be Lando. But at the same time, you
can also have... I know that they said that it could possibly be a Lando series,
right?
But they could also bring Billy D into it too and do it that way too, because in Rise of Revenge of the Sith, in Rise of Skywalker at the end where he's talking to her, but like, oh well, let's go find your parents, let's find out where you're from. Like they could do that part of it too,
like concurrent storylines where something that they do in the past is similar to something that's going on in the future. You have Lando doing something in his life at different parts of his life and shift back and forth. I would prefer let's just keep it in the past, but at the same time, if they're not going to throw a whole lot of effort behind a Billy D centric type storyline, then yeah, if you incorporated him into that Lando series in some way. They kind of did it with Indiana Jones and the Young Indiana Jones when Harrison Ford was in an episode. Travis is highly always promoting that series. I remember watching it when it first came out, but I haven't revisited it since. But yeah, Troy, when it comes to Donald Glover, I'm going to keep calling him Troy, but Donald Glover, he has the ability to pull off those action scenes. We've seen it in the movie. We've seen it in Community. And he's got the chops to carry on multiple seasons. And if he's got that Disney money backing him up, that's only going to fuel the fire. But at the same time, Donald Glover is very much a guy who does what he wants to do in terms of what's better for him.
Right.
So if they were to orchestrate it properly and at least figure out the storyline in which they want to tell and make it worth his while story-wise, we're going to get those great moments that we always get when it comes to Donald Glover.
Jeff Winger. You son of a bitch. I thought you were dead, man.
I love that part.
But, the Battle of Tanab, we can figure out what went on there. L337, was that her name? Figure out what's going on with the robot. Maybe she gets out of the Millennium Falcon, so she's not just in there the entire time, or she's gone. She's just part of the Millennium Falcon. She is the Falcon. That's why it's always a she. Yes. But then again, aren't most ships she's when they refer to them? But yeah, so Lando Calrissian, I would love it if they did a series incorporating all of them, because I would love to see where it goes with Kira. I would love to see what is going on with Solo as well as Lando in that era. You can have some badass action if they do it on the way or in the vein of what they're doing with The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'd be for it. But at the same time, I want new characters, and I feel like, you know, seeing some of the old characters just kind of feels like we're going back to the well.
Yeah.
But then again, this is a well technically we haven't even started draining. I mean, we haven't even gotten that much out of it. It's Solo, just the movie, and that was it.
Yeah, but I also feel like they're just kind of in a bubble right now of characters that we already know, sort of, and
Right.
are in the same area that we already know. I mean, I feel like you can expand Star Wars into vast different ways. I mean, look at the extended universe.
Right.
There are so many books in there that I mean, granted, yes, they focus on your main characters, what happened with them and everything, but at the same time, you can go and create new characters for a universe like Star Wars. Because there's so many planets, there's so many different creatures and characters that you can have in these stories. Why not create something new?
But I feel like you could create all those new things if you did it within the world of these characters. So you could open it up and bring on a whole new, a bevy of characters, I say, as Ken Knapsack would say. But I feel like you could expand and bring us all that new stuff that we haven't seen before, that we've never met or seen, by expanding that universe with all these different characters. So let's go to the comments section. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Regis, yeah, we got the Regis thing. He got Obi-Wan. Hello there. I enjoy your videos. I was recently watching a review from back in March about Super Mario Brothers. This was because of Sonic the Hedgehog being made, but it had a similar backlash. No one can beat Creed's Joker. Love the Doctor Who cosplay. Did that one already. Bicios Vanna, you are prettiest without makeup. I was just telling her that shit yesterday. No,
I like
no
wearing
shit.
makeup.
Did I not have that conversation?
It's true, he did.
That's
but,
what I
you know,
said.
They all say that.